Hi, this is Sherry Veronica. There are no big issues other than the issue of the rich and the poor, the separation there in Barbados. The big issue is Mia Mottley is living large, and most of the people who voted for her are living poor. The big issue is Mia Mottley wants you to have children, and she has declined to add to the population growth in terms of having children. Other members of her cabinet do not have children. Now, I'm not going to sit here and say it's a bad thing, because I really think that people who choose not to bring children into this world, they're intelligent. I happen to think that. But I cannot be telling people that they should increase the population of any particular demographic when I myself didn't do it. It's a sign of hypocrisy. It's something within me should scream hypocrisy. Okay, so the population crisis threatens way of life. No, what threatens your way of life is, as a homogenous country, most of you there are Barbadians, and even if you have other people from CARICOM, they're all been through the same thing you've been through. So it's homogenous. You kind of get where you came from, and that's out of Africa. Where you ended up, what island you ended up on, is neither here or there, but you came out from the same place to do the same thing. So you are united on that front. And then there are people like Mia Mottley that pulled herself out of that kicking and scratching. I'm sure it's never easy. It's never easy, okay? And she is living large, and you are living poor. And as a homogenous society, that is what is the biggest crisis, and that is what is threatening your way of life, because the young children coming in, I don't know if they're the ancestors, okay, because they're saying, some people think that the ancestors are reincarnated through the youngsters and that kind of stuff, but they are not the ancestors. They are not the ancestors. They are a different type of entities that are coming into this world. They don't care about all of the, the ways that you have to work to get rich or whatever. They want to get rich, and they want to get rich quick. They want to get rich quick, okay? So, Mia, what is threatening the way of life in Barbados is the fact that you drive a big car, you live in a big house, you have a nice address. If someone sends something to you, it's a nice address, a nice location, and most others are living poor. And the youngsters that are coming in are seeing that, and they are not the ancestors. They're not. Okay, they're not. Okay, so what the big issue is, I said it before, you have issues, but the main issue is you didn't have kids. You chose not to have kids. You chose a lifestyle that did not afford you kids. Okay, you are rich, Mia. You probably have millions in the bank. When if you were to give that to people in your constituency, for instance, you could really improve their lives, and you could improve their lives if you gave them the stipend for travel and the stipend for entertainment that you get, and part of your salary as the prime minister. Give people part of your salary, create a fund, and make sure that every household has some wood or whatever they need to fix up or whatever, and you could come down a few notches. That's what the big issue is. You don't want to come down. You don't want to step down in terms of having your bank account having maybe 200,000. You want to have the millions. You want to have the millions, and you want the people you may call minions, or the people who you may call, living below poverty level. You want their vote. You want them to vote you to keep you on a pedestal, and people are noticing that. That is the biggest threat, when people start to notice shit, okay? and young people coming in, they're noticing shit, okay? And they're talking differently. I spoke to a young person yesterday. It was almost like talking to someone who rang up from hell. It was like, oh, are you living on the earth? Where are you living? How do you think that way? You're young. How do you get your mind fixed to think that way, you know? So it's a different set of young people that are stirring, okay? A different set. But as a homogeneous society, you guys should be working together to create more of a middle class. There should not be any black rich people in Barbados. Not from Barbados, not Barbadian. There should not be any black Barbadian rich people, and then a whole set, like 75% whatever, are poor, and you're living rich. That should never happen in Barbados because of the way you started and because of the way you came, what you came through, and you experienced the same things. You have the same history. It should never be. It should never be. So the big issue is me and Mottley is living large, and most of Barbadians are poor. And like I said, me and Mottley is the best person to lead. Is, you know, you have all these contradictions. You know, there are a lot of contradictions when you look at life or when you look at situations. But she's still the best one to put up front there to lead. But she needs to empty out her bank account. She needs to give back some of that money that she took from you. She needs to give it back. Let me put it that way. She needs to give it back. And when she has the people, Maloney and all those people doing those hotels and giving away land and selling it back to Barbadians for really expensive, very high prices, you know, when they build those little tiny huts and those little government houses. She needs to make sure that that does not happen. But will she? Will she? Is there any point of turning back? Or is it that she has passed the point of no return? You guys are going to have to decide. Is me and Mottley going to turn around and level the playing field, or has she reached the point of no return? This is Sherry Veronica.